with any kind of project, you have to have a little bit of a bond with the client, because if you don't see eye to eye on things, it's not going to work very well. And then obviously you have to see the space. But before we saw this new space, I already knew what his previous space looked like. So I had a feel of what his style was. We actually went into a few furniture stores and he pinpointed what he liked. Don't be afraid to pinpoint what you like, even though the things that you're pointing out don't really go together, because it helps the designer know what their style is. So we toured around the house and made a list of what rooms needed more furnishing to go with his existing furniture. But you also have to take into consideration the style of the house itself, because it doesn't make sense to put traditional furniture in a very contemporary house. But you also have to take into consideration how much light the room projects. So it's okay to actually go with darker colors as long as there's sufficient lighting that comes into the room. For this particular house, we wanted it brighter, because even though the ceilings are high and there are a lot of windows, light just doesn't reach all the corners of the house. So painting it in a very light color just changed it dramatically and beautifully. So clients will call me with different requirements, whether it's just accessorizing or changing out the entire room. And very important, the budget. I had to convince the client that it's not necessarily to totally demolish the whole bathroom. Otherwise, he would have spent double what we spent. And some people just don't see it, because they look into a room and they just see the overall room. They don't take into consideration elements by themselves. So the countertop, I thought, was very beautiful. It's a dark green marble, and the tendency nowadays is for people to purchase something that's very popular, such as quartz, not realizing that certain natural stones, such as the marble or granite, can actually really look beautiful depending on the other elements that you can change, such as the flooring and the shower tile, and keeping everything else. When people would go into the bathroom now, people who saw what it looked like before, all of a sudden it looked so brand new. Everything looked brand new. They even asked us, where'd you get the countertops? I said, well, it's been there all this time. Nowadays, I've come across many clients who don't necessarily use the second living room. So in the case of this client, we put his desk in the other room, and it actually works out really fine. So you have the family room where they always spend time in with his children, but then we also have the office just across the room, and he's getting a lot of use out of that. Whereas if it were another living room, I know he's not going to use it. So I try to educate clients and tell them the bigger pieces, such as sofas and chairs, they're very difficult to change every 2 or 3 years. You're going to have them for at least 5 to 10 years. But how to freshen up a room is by changing out the smaller accessories, such as pillows, throws, lamps, even what you put on the coffee tables, different types of candles, trays. These are all things that you can rotate throughout the year. It's a pleasure working with a professional such as Deborah, because she makes everything so easy. Our connection was right off the bat. And she helped me she gave me free hand, so I was able to really bring out my talent and help the client get top dollar.